Hello everyone, welcome to the first video commentary on the channel. Today we will go over Pug the Other Side plus 16 run. We will be diving into each pull with the Brewmaster, and I will try to explain what my thought process was during the run and go over potential mistakes and what we could have done better. Let's get started. Before I actually play the video, I want to go over the party and the class distribution we have here. With the Fire Mage, we have good burst with the combustion. I have the decay to help me with the grips and the gather mobs together. And I have Hunter here with help me with the binding shot. So that'll be very important in the first couple pulls here, as they are the most dangerous ones. So let's get started with the video. So as I mentioned, the first two pulls are going to be really dangerous here. And as soon as I go down and start grouping the mobs, we want to lust here. As you can see, we lusted here. And the binding shot right away is down. So over here, not much is happening. I am trying to keep a safe distance from the mobs. The Warlord is enraged right now. So I'm trying to keep a safe distance. I'm also trying to dodge the scribe casts. Also, when we were doing this, it was the affix with the ghosts. So try to kind of kite them, CC them. Don't waste your time killing them. And right now, here we are approaching the second pull, which I think is very dangerous. It might be even more dangerous than the first one. Oh, in a little bit I'm gonna pull. Alright, there we go. So same thing, binding shot is down right away to help me kite. And I can get rid of the poison stacks in a little bit. Here I'm still avoiding the scribe casts. And I'm also trying to interrupt the speaker as much as possible. As you can see, I got rid of the poison stacks I have. I'm putting down, over here, let me pause this real quick. I'm putting down Ring of Peace because I felt like I was taking too much damage, and me and the healer kind of needed a breather there. So I put down the Ring of Peace, even though I'm not kiting too far away. I'm staying in the Ring of Peace and using that safe place kind of catch up with the healing. So let's try play it again. I got a good interrupt on the speaker there. I'm still kiting. I'm trying to avoid the ghosts. Not much really is happening there. We're just gonna kill the mobs here. Keep kiting. Trying to get my shield up. There we go. Now that we're done with the second pull of the dungeon, the rest is kind of more straightforward. Right now we're going to, this is actually going to be one of the major mistakes we did in this dungeon. Once I pull that mask guy, oops, sorry, there we go. Once I pulled that mask guy there, I specifically cleared the area for us to stun him. And as you can see, this is so late. So late. We didn't even get the stun off. And it was kind of a wipe. And it's going to be a wipe here, I believe. Yeah, we're still trying. The second rage is going off, which is really, really bad. That means we were really slow killing the guy. I'm alone, fighting alone because of my cheat death. And I think I managed to kite it back to the healer and re-kill it here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I'm gonna skip ahead. So we killed that mob without using the urn, which is really, really bad. You definitely want to stun the rage cast, not the masks. That's very important. This pull is very straightforward. We're going to pull the hunter with the dinosaurs there, get pride, and then with the pride we're going to kill warlords. Trying to see where my mage was. But let's, yeah, like I said, this is a very easy pull. Nothing to worry about really. I can get rid of my poison stack, so that's not a worry. In a little bit, I think I'm gonna use my... I usually use Ring of Peace here, but I think I'm saving it for the ghost. Yeah, there we go. And Mage died for some reason there, and I have a ghost on me. I have two. I also get stunned by the pride there, which was, I think, my bad, but nothing really to talk about here. We're just gonna kill the pride. And then go into the warlords. These mobs enrage, so there's nothing really special to them. When they cast Undying Rage, just kite. If you have a druid in your party, ask for treants, ask for soothe, anything to remove that enrage. And kite, 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 that's pretty much it. We're going to kill the last mob there too, and moving on to the Hakar. I'm gonna rewind it back a little here. Okay, so there are a couple things to say about these devoted mobs. You have to kill them before this casts are complete, or keep CCing them so the cast restarts after the CC ends. So for example, I think I'm gonna use my CC over here to kind of stop the cast. Okay, yeah, there we go. We stunned them, and then we did that again. So every time we CC them, the cast starts again. And of course, the Hexer, the Hex guy, and the Priest guy are healers. So you gotta take turn interrupting the heals there. Nothing really special. So I got the heal cast of the Priest there. And I'm looking, keeping an eye on the Hex. I interrupted the second heal with my Ring of Peace. Moving on to the next pack. Same thing. Interrupt the heal casts. Keep your distance so you can be safe as a tank. Alright, let's get it back a little. Let me pause it here. So if you fail to interrupt or disrupt the mobs, they're gonna go turn into Son of Hakar mobs, and they're gonna keep casting the Blood Nova, which is pretty annoying and big AoE damage. But since it was only one, we were able to manage this. And when they die, they're gonna leave a blood pool there, so. This pack over here, we were going to use the urn back there. I am pulling them to behind this pillar. So you always want to LOS this pull. So when you have a Night Fae in the party, you can use the urn and stun them. Because when they're in this range, they're in range of the urn, so you can stun them. And after they're stunned, it's nothing really, anything special. Just want to kill the healers first. Keep your distance from the Deathwalkers when they do the spinny thing, the Blade Storms. They can be stunned to stop that cast. Watch out for the ghost if you're playing with the Spiteful effects. And that's pretty much it. Let me skip ahead a little. We're killing the Pride here. And with Pride and Lust, as you guys can see here, we lusted the first pull, but it's up again for the boss. So definitely Lust in the first pull, it helps a lot. And now we're going into this boss with Lust and Pride, which is what you want. Gonna skip ahead on this boss fight. Killed the boss. Alright, over here, if I can see. No, I can't see. Okay, yeah. Here, you don't want to kill anything else. You want to skip that spirit mob, and you want to go into the Mechagon area right away. Because if you kill something extra here, it's gonna mess up the Pride timers. So with this route, we're gonna get our Pride, our third Pride, I believe, right before the boss. The next couple of pulls here are gonna be really straightforward. There are a couple things to do over here. This mob is generally easy, so I could have potentially paired it with the others over here and pulled more. But in a pug, I don't really want to do that because I don't really trust the party to LOS or do the mechanics right. So I'm just going with the simple route here, just pulling the drill and doing it right with the LOS mechanic. This is the cast. You have to go LOS, otherwise you're gonna get a huge AoE damage and potentially die. So once the cast is about to complete, I go behind the wall. I'm trying to help with the heals over here, and then reposition the mob here so we can do the same thing again. Potentially, good groups would kill it after one haywire, but I think, well, we are killing it too. Yeah, there we go with the touch of death. So what I do here, pull these two and the pack to the right here, and I put my ring of peace down so when they explode, they're nowhere near us. And same thing here too. I could have pulled more of the headless client mobs. But again, same thing. I'm in a pug. I don't know how well we can handle the big pulls like that, especially if it's not a big pull that everybody is used to. So I don't really want to confuse them with interesting pulls like that. So I'm just going with very straightforward pulls, very safe for pugs. Nothing really special here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. We kill these. We kill the headless clients. They're gonna do a spinning up. You want to keep your distance. You want to CC them. You want to use your ring of peace if you're playing monk. All that good stuff. Stun them as much as possible. Try to keep them together so they can be AoE down or stunned together. And there's gonna be another drill mob here. It's the same thing. I'm gonna skip ahead. I'm using my ring of peace for the ghosts there. And with these, I I realized that I made a mistake there because I usually use my Ring of Peace to keep those mobs away, but our hunter used the binding shot there, so they were there, so it wasn't a problem. And on fortified weeks, you really want to get those lubricate casts because they hurt on fortified. We have an engineer, so we can stop the slimes. I think I'm going to group the 2 lubricators. Yeah, there we go. You want to really do this if you have a good interrupt rotation. Unlike us over here, it's not really that much of a big deal, but you really want to interrupt the lubricate casts because, as you can see, it hurts a lot on a fortified week. We're not really doing a good job of it here, but in normal circumstances it can be a little bit more manageable than this. With the oils, there's nothing really special to them. You want to interrupt as much as possible, and you want to keep them together as much as possible so it can be AoE down and stunned and interrupted together. Right after this, we're going to get Pride, and we're going to go into yet another boss with a Pride buff, which is good for us. Of course, here you want to avoid getting hit by the oil. I'm not going to really explain the boss fight here, but I'm going to keep it playing so I can show you guys a couple things. If you are the tank, you don't necessarily have to move the boss here. Your DPS have to align the arrows and stun the boss themselves. So as you can see here, I'm moving them a little bit because I know my DPS was lagging behind, but in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to move the boss at all. And once we get to the other boss, I'm going to explain how we can deal with the bombs. We did a good job interrupting that cast there. Okay, so on this, right after the tank mechanic boss saw, if you guys spam click the boss, you could stop the cast. Here I missed it, but I'm gonna do another. And see, I was able to disarm this one. And here boss and I was stunned as well, but you stunned the boss, so good job. Another boss saw. I'm trying to get the bomb again. I missed it again. I think what was happening here, if I remember correctly, was I was clicking the melee instead of the boss, so that was preventing me from getting the bombs. And if you were a Kyrian tank, you could remove the stacks from the buzzsaw with your potion there, so it's a really good tip to know. And let me skip ahead because there's so much walking in this dungeon. Here we're just pulling the spirit. We're being careful with the rage cast because we don't have the urn to interrupt him. Here, one easy way to get rid of the masks here, capacitor totem can get rid of them. My leg sweep can get rid of them. Any disruption like that on AoE can get rid of the masks. Nothing really special. We killed the mob. We came to the next one, next pack. And here I'm pulling them to the urn. And over here to note, there's no easy way to kind of pull them closer. You just have to trust your party to not get aggro while you're trying to group them by the urn. If if you're playing with a organized group, then you can use certain interrupts and certain displacements to get the mobs to the urn faster. But the urn has a good amount of range. Like, you don't have to bring it to the urn right away. It'll stun if they're a little bit farther. Of course, we're able to kill them. We're paying attention to the eruption darkness, I think it was called. Let me see what it's called. Erupting darkness, there we go. Paying attention to that. We don't want to fly off the platform. And killing these. I'm going to pull the bone soldier there. Nothing really special. We're going to kill all of them. Moving on to the next area, Ardent Weald. This area is the most fun. You can do really big pulls and get away with it. It's really fun. Even on fortified weeks, I think you can pull big here. There's not much really going on. As you can see here, I pulled big. I think that was like 2 packs, and I'm about to get the 3rd pack here. The only reason I didn't get the 3rd pack at the beginning was to control the ghosts. I don't want it to get out of hand and people not able to run away from it. If this wasn't a pug, I would definitely have pulled more. Binding shot is down. That is super helpful for me to kite and stay safe. You really want to get the bark skin casts here from the bark binders. It'll just make it faster to kill them. Bark armor, yeah. All we have to deal here is the ghosts, and I am helping DPSing them here because we don't have, we're kind of trapped on this side of the room. Normally you don't want to fight them, you just want to kite them and they'll die by themselves. And here the reason I pulled this pack alone is because we're gonna get pride here. And it's going to line up really well with the large packs we're going to pull after this. So here's the pride. We're just going to kill the pride. There we go, I touch a death. So one important thing, if you're playing a monk, save your touch of deaths for the pride. It'll help your group a lot. For example, for me, I always hang on to my touch of death, and I use it to kill the pride, and it helps a lot. Here I'm pulling a couple invisible groups here to the urn. I'm keeping them by the urn because potentially we want to stun them here. Yep, they're stunned. We're getting a good chunk of DPS there. When you stun, there will be this blade beak mob right behind this pillar right there, and it'll get pulled too, but it's not that big of a deal. So nothing really special going on here. Our mage is about to die, but he survives. To make the pride time on the next boss, you want to pull these 2 mobs behind the dragon there. These are the 2 invisible packs here. And unfortunately, I don't think we have binding shot. Oh, we do. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we use the binding shot there. I'm using them to kite. Using it to kite the mobs. And using Ring of Peace to kind of keep the safe distance with them. And after these mobs, we're done with them. We're done with the this platform over here. We're not gonna pull the dragon. I'm really I don't know why I'm fighting the ghosts there. I should just leave. I think people were staying behind. That's why I was like trying to kill them fast. Here, let me pause this real quick and go back a little. So this hatchling is going to do a cry, and it's going to pull the mobs around her, I think. And one way to stop the cast easily is to use your paralysis there. And I think I missed it there, so all I had to do was use paralysis there, and then that stop would have been stopped. Overall, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was kind of easy to handle. I'm getting a really big shield there with the full stacks. And I die here. I think I should have kited more. Gonna skip ahead so I can catch up with the... There we go. Gonna skip ahead because this pack is not anything special. We're getting the pride here. We're binding shot the ghost so it can be easily kited. We're going to kill the pride here and jump down to the next boss. Again, with lust and pride here, the boss is kind of melting, so we're not really having any big problems here. Our DPS is good. We have lust and pride, so we're in good shape. I'm gonna skip ahead because I don't think there's anything exciting happening in this boss. I'm also going to skip ahead this one because we're walking to the last boss, and this is the pool. Okay, there we go. One thing you want to do over here is to designate your spots before the fight even starts. So what I did is I announced in the party where I'm gonna go front left, and usually the healer comes with the tank, but it's not really necessary in my case because I can kill the ad really fast with the touch of death. So if there's any members potentially are gonna have more trouble than I will, then the healer would go with them. But in this case, he's going to come with me to the front left portal. I'm going to skip ahead. Before I skip ahead, Soul Crusher ability here, that's a tank melter. You really want to hang on to your defensives and use it when the dot is applied on you. Here, I think I'm gonna use my shield. Yeah, there we go. Of course, you can dodge these back, left, or right depending on which one is being cast. Soul Crusher again. And I popped my cooldown there. And let's skip to the portal phase. There we go. So I have my Touch of Death ready. All we have to do is DPS it down a little to 15-10%, and then I can use Touch of Death and kill it instantly almost. Here I'm not really worried about anything because I have my shield on. I'm just focusing on DPSing and touch of deathing it. And there we go, we got the totem. I'm checking to see if all the other party members are getting their ads killed. Making sure that we're getting all the totems. And we did. And after this point, it's basically a kill. If you manage to get all the totems correctly, and there's nothing stopping you from timing the dungeon and killing the boss here, basically. The fight restarts, same mechanics, same everything. Just make sure that you're not getting hit by anything, and just kill the boss. Alright guys, this was the first ever commentary I have done in this channel. Let me know in the comments if you like this format. This was a little bit different than what I have imagined, but most of you guys have requested a commentary video. Hopefully I'll do a better commentary videos in the future, and we'll see how that goes.